Please get comfortable and ready for this lesson. Make sure you have set up all the required bindings for your controls as described in the mission briefing. To view the mission briefing, press left Alt Bravo. Be advised that the default bindings will appear only in the readback on the right side of the screen. For brevity and clarity, I will not speak into it. Press Fire Weapon when you are ready to begin. You have entered your Hawk in a cold and dark state. Let's start waking it up. Since the A-10 is a low complexity plane, starting it up is a simple process, and we have some time to add airfield manners to the mix for greater immersion. Turn on electrical power. As soon as we have power, our radios turn on. Since this is a low complexity plane, we don't have to tune the radios. All radios receive all stations automatically. Somewhat unrealistic, but a great help. You will hear some ground and tower chatter in the background. Ignore it unless directed at you. Hawk 1-1. Now test the internal cockpit lights by cycling them twice. Press cockpit illumination twice.
Tango Kilo across 31 right, hold short of 31 center, close 936.
We are on a controlled airfield. Usually, we would now request startup permission from the ground or tarmac control. This is not required in DCS, but it is still good practice to do so. Press the communications button. From there, navigate as follows. ATC, then Senaki Koki, then request startup. Once you have received permission, choose Exit to close the communications menu. Press Fire Weapon when done or to skip.
Passing waypoint 1 at 6,000. Passing 1, passing waypoint 3 at 2,000.
Before we start the engines, we turn on our strobes and navigation lights so other people and vehicles can keep clear of our jet. Press navigation lights. We are now ready to start the engines. In a low complexity plane, starting the engines is a simple affair. First, however, you must ensure that both throttles are set to idle. Now, either press engines start, this will start both engines, or press engine left start, you will then have to also start the right engine later.
Springfield 1, passing waypoint 1 at 1,100.
You just like that plane better right now.
Springfield 1, passing waypoint 2 at 1,600.
Very nice. This is how it's done. Before the right engine starts, a small APU auxiliary power unit starts up, which then in turn will start our right engine. We wait until the APU's needles in the Great. Let's wait until both engines have spooled up and their needles have stabilized at 60% RPM and temperature of 550 degrees Celsius.
Springfield 1, passing waypoint 3 at 1,600.
Runway 380 runway down from Atlanta, runway 4 taxi. Runway 773 on my runway down runway 4 left. Taxi 2 hold short runway 4 right. Runway 4 taxi, unity cross all 31.
4 right, we'll cross all 31.
Like 37 runway down for 30 seconds.
Now it's also time to close the canopy. Press Canopy. This should close the cockpit and lower the noise level. We now set the flaps for takeoff. The A-10A's flaps can have 3 positions: up, maneuver, or landing. We want to set the flaps to maneuver. Unfortunately, this command has a misleading label in DCS A-10A. Before we start rolling, we need to turn on the taxi lights so we can see where we are going. In A-10A, our landing lights double as taxi lights when they are tilted downwards. We do that by turning on the landing lights, or gear lights, and set them to the down position. Press gear lights twice.
Okay, Delta 2031, we'll clock 65.
Again, it's good practice to request permission to taxi. To do so, press Communication, then choose Request Taxi to Runway. Press Weapon Fire when ready to continue or to skip this step.
Springfield 1, passing waypoint 4 at 1,600. 1-1, request taxi to runway.
Flight 3002, runway 4 right.
Clear to taxi to runway 9.
The very first thing to do once we get rolling is to check our brakes. Increase thrust slightly, and as soon as you feel that your hog is moving, reduce thrust to idle and stop the aircraft with your wheel brakes.
Under 118, Uniform 570, ground change to be Yankee, cross all the 31, and the Argent 2 will wait for you.
Alright, brakes are holding. Release the brakes, set throttles to idle. Now increase throttle slowly until you're moving forward again and roll slowly towards the taxiway at the far end of the tarmac straight ahead of you.
Ground up 2031 is now ready for taxi to rear response.
Up 2031 is the runway 4 right, Tango Yankee, cross all the 31.
Alright.
Good. Turn right using rudder, pick up and follow the solid yellow line. Proceed slowly to runway 09. Be careful not to enter the runway. Stop in front of the runway threshold. It's usually marked with a line, but not at this airfield. Drive slowly, and keep an eye out for other ground traffic.
Delta 2031, if you'd like to cut the corner, you can use Papa 31 right in Yankee.
Alright, Papa 31 right, Yankee. Delta 2031.
Infield 1, passing waypoint 1 at 600.
Midway ground, 5761 and Alpha 10 plus the positive.
Or 5761 midway ground, plus your discretion.
Springfield 1, passing waypoint 5 at 1,600.
Now hold short off, that means stop before, the runway by using wheel brakes and request permission to enter the runway.
Request takeoff.
Press weapon fire when you have received clearance to enter the runway. Before entering the runway, make sure that there are no aircraft on final approach. Then, move slowly forward, enter the runway, and roll towards the center line. Turn to a heading of 090 and come to a complete stop using the wheel brakes.
436, midway ground, Oscar current, push back at your discretion.
It's time for some final checks. Are there any red lights? Do we have enough fuel? Are both engines running?
Midway ground,
Are we pointing in the correct direction, 090? Is the canopy closed? Are our flaps set correctly to 7 degrees? As final preparation, set the landing lights to... You are now ready to proceed to the next mission.
Call 761 4 right, Echo Kilo, cross line to right,
Southwest 1331, I can push off of Bravo 12, we've got options.
South 1331 midway ground, there's a Valera